Previously on Bad Movie Beatdown, yeah?
Matthew! Or do you Equilibrium? See you later.
Equilibrium, probably one of the stupidest films I have ever seen. Before we sign off, I have one bit of business I'd like to attend to.
Oh hi, it's Matthew, isn't it? I gave you Equilibrium last week, didn't I?
And now another stunning conclusion.
And welcome to Bad Movie Beatdown. Today, take a cup of gravel, swirl it around your mouth a bit, spit it out, okay, and then start mumbling, because then you'll sound like every character in Seraphim Falls. Seraphim Falls is an indie western picture. Now, westerns were at the height of popularity in earlier days of Hollywood yore. This was because they were quick to make, profitable, and the scripts are always easy to write. The problem was that Hollywood made too many of them. Like the superhero genre will inevitably follow in a few years, they had exhausted all the plot lines and the audience's patience for watching them. People were getting bored of the genre. The only successes in the genre have been revisionist westerns, like The Assassination of Jesse James or Unforgiven, and they give the tales a modern outlook and relevancy, which is something that the western genre should have included long before it keeled over from heat exhaustion. Seraphim Falls tries to be one of these movies, but it ends up becoming a pretentious mumblefest instead. The film starts off with scenery shots, and trust me, you'll be seeing plenty of these scenery shots before we're done. There, in the snow-covered mountains, is a man making a camp. That man is played by Brosnan. We can tell this is a man of nature and resource because he's camping in a forest and comes complete with a grizzly Adam's beard. It's like an overgrown hedge has taken territory on Pierce's face. Pierce is having some absolutely delicious skinned rabbit kebab when suddenly someone nails a shot right into his shoulder. He makes like Richard Kimball and pegs it, but ends up spending most of it rolling down the steep incline. It turns out that Pierce is being hunted by Liam Neeson's men, including a man with a voice so coarse that he probably eats cigarettes for breakfast.
It's clearing up something. I ought to get a move on.
A kid with the words dead meat on his forehead, a guy who does nothing of importance, and Lenny from A Mice and Men.
He didn't even take his rifle.
You pretty. We get lots of shots of Liam Neeson and his cronies chasing Pierce across the slopes, and the pace is as glacial as the mountains themselves. Still, this is actually quite intriguing. Pierce gets to a river which is in the middle of a sudden dense forest. The only way of crossing the icy water is to move across a thin log. Pierce proceeds to jump across the log using his crotch. Ooh, no wonder he looks so intense and pain. Ooh. Unfortunately, Pierce, ever the nature expert, ends up slipping off the log, either because he slipped or due to the severe gonad pain, one of the two. He ends up getting dragged away by the current and right over a waterfall. Holy shit! 6 minutes into the movie, and so far, Pierce has been shot in the shoulder, rolled down a mountainside, bashed his testicles on the log, fell into an icy river, thrown over a waterfall. I mean, most people might say, F it and die, but not Pierce, no. And if you're keeping score, Pierce nearly ends up drowning due to his thick and heavy fur coat, which he has to abandon, but luckily he makes it to shore and continues to run through the forest shivering. Yeah, because that's all being plunged into a river in snowy mountains due to you. Meanwhile, Neeson's cronies argue that they can call off their search because he couldn't have survived that fall.
There ain't nobody. There ain't gonna be nobody.
There's always a body.
But Sam Gerard tells them they need to search the river for the body and set up checkpoints every... Oh wait, wrong movie. Pierce makes himself another campsite, which we spend several minutes watching him do in detail. You know, filmmakers, there is such a thing as too much detail. And then, as if to further prove my point, Pierce, in grueling detail, uses his knife to extract the bullet out of his arm, and using the same knife over flame to cauterize the wound. Ow! Too much info! He falls into unconsciousness for several hours, and I'm sure lying half naked in the snow is really going to help out with his hypothermia. Unfortunately for Pierce, Lenny has smelt the stench of rotting flesh, and Liam's team are soon on their way to his location. Pierce goes and hides in some trees. They find Pierce's campsite and decide to split up, which is the phrase in movies that invariably leads to someone getting killed. To cut a long story short, Lenny ends up heading in Pierce's direction, unaware that Pierce lurks in the trees above. Pierce gets out his trusty knife and aims it. No! Not Lenny! I'd like to add that Pierce is an impossibly good shot here. That was 1 in a million. What follows can't possibly get any dumber. Of course it does. So for those keeping score, be sure to add that to the list. But don't worry, Pierce is fine. No pulped internal organs, no bruising or injuries, no broken bones. In fact, he's doing remarkably well considering he still has hypothermia and a still bleeding gunshot wound as well. I know Pierce is a survival expert, but god damn it, someone needs to tell me how to survive this movie! Pierce takes his knife, takes Lenny's gun and coat, and here's a lovely, lovely touch. Opens up Lenny's stomach with his knife and rummages his hands around to keep them warm. Ugh. Were the filmmakers trying to make this as f***ing disgusting as possible? Meanwhile, Liam's team has regrouped minus Lenny and has realised something is up.
Remember, if you kill this son of a bitch, you will not be paid. Extremities only.
You know, in case it wasn't obvious enough that Liam wants gruesome revenge for something we don't know about yet. They find Lenny's body, but Liam has a very unusual reaction.
Get the horses. We have them now.
Yes, you've got him by the balls. He just killed one of your men and is more heavily armed than he was before. I say the ball is most certainly in your court. Pierce finds a house and tries to steal a horse. However, he gets caught in the act by a teenage girl. She notices he's been shot. How exactly she knows he's been shot, given he has a coat over the wound, is beyond me, and takes Pierce in. Yes, because that's how people treated horse thieves. Ew, what is that? Tobacco spear? She tends to his wound until her dad comes in, and look, it's Benny from the Mummy! Benny and Pierce have a talk about Pierce having one of the horses.
So I don't take kindly to a man trying to steal mine.
Like I told you, girl, I'll pay for the horse.
Excuse me?
It's only about 6 days' walk from here to town.
Beg your pardon?
I'll pay you twice what you paid for her.
Do you need some cough syrup or something? Because I've got it in the back here.
I'd rather not.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I'd rather not. Meanwhile, Liam and his team continue the trail.
Yeah, still bleeding. Hey, there's something else down here.
Ooh, I wonder what they find down there.
Nothing there.
Oh, back at the house, Pierce and the boy have what can only be described as a moment.
You don't talk much, do you, boy?
Does Pierce Brosnan have a case of throat cancer I'm unaware of? It turns out the boy's wooden toy gun stirs up some guilty feelings within Pierce, who breaks down crying. Well, that's where he saw the script. Either way, Pierce secretly ventures off in the middle of the night. Is that supposed to be night? That looks like a piss-poor attempt at trying to pass day for night. Sure enough, Liam's four pay Benny a visit and have a bit of rough interrogation.
What the devil get for his money?
Cigarettes attempts to have his way with her and look at that face, what the f*** is he doing? Okay, you're a pervert. More disgusting, more disgusting, more damn it, more! I want slobber all over these goddamn walls! Anyway, long story short, the chase continues still. This seems so very necessary. Pierce spots the crew coming and sets up a campfire to lure them in, lurking in the trees as the crew all take refuge at the campfire. And none of them thinks this might not be a good idea. Why don't we use this conveniently set up campfire? It's not like he could be waiting in the trees to slit our throats while we sleep. Thankfully, Liam is sharp since he sneaks up behind Pierce and points a gun at him.
Why are you doing this? Seraphim Falls.
Ooh, ominous. Now how about a real explanation for why they're chasing each other? Or some character development, because it's really, really boring watching two people chase each other. What the hell? It's like the writer wrote himself into a corner and then used a cheap way to get out of it. And don't say, oh, it's because he wants to see his face, because Liam has no problems trying to shoot Pierce as he runs away. Sense? No, not around, sorry. The following morning, Pierce encounters a dead bear caught in a bear trap. He takes the trap and the rope attached to it and, using inventiveness that would make MacGyver piss himself, creates a trap out of the bear trap, the rope and some branches that takes out the rookie at the back there. How are those branches attached to the trees it swings out of? And why is no one suspicious of the fact that there are branches just lying randomly in the road? I hate watching this dumb, pretentious movie. I mean, how can things just get any worse?
Good day, sir.
Well, howdy, officer.
I am with the local homicide department. Now, we're investigating a murder in this area. The victim was last seen holding a copy of the movie Equilibrium. We were wondering, have you seen anyone matching this description?
Yeah. That's very interesting. But you see, the thing about that is, Jesus!
Is what?
Hey, wait! Get back here!
Anyway, after that scene, Pierce encounters a group of bank robbers. He insists they leave him be, but one of them insists on killing him just in case. But that doesn't turn out all that well. Okay, that was fairly cool, but did it remind you of something earlier? Why didn't he do that then? Oh, right, because we wouldn't have a movie. I forgot. Pierce takes the thief's gun and his horse, so he's right back to where he visited that family. Glad to know things have been developing onward. Anyway, Liam's packed to encounter the thief's dead corpse, and what do you know? He's a wanted man! Unimportant knows this bandit will pay better than Pierce, so he decides to leave the other two to it. Liam doesn't take this well.
Let him earn that $250 the hard way.
Ain't never gonna make it to town without a horse.
I told you boys, them horses are mine.
Wow, what a dick. Meanwhile, Pierce, on his horse that looks exactly like the one he abandoned earlier, encounters some Christians.
We can water your mare. She looks hard-ridden. Mercy to the beast is blessed in the eyes of the Lord.
He sees your sin!
Well, that was random. He makes it to some people building a railroad, but it turns out the horse he got from the thief attracts some unwanted attention because he ends up getting attacked by some leprechauns.
You want another one? Yeah, fuck you.
How about some Lucky Charms, bitch? Liam and Cigarettes ride up, but they soon discover that the workers have Pierce held up somewhere. But Pierce has just the thing to antagonise the Irish guard.
Paddy boy.
Am I the only one who thinks this is weird coming from an Irish actor? So Pierce manages to incapacitate the one inept guard and escape. But Liam is looming ever closer. But Pierce gets his horse and rides off. Well, that was entirely pointless. Liam and Cigarettes then ride to another village where the religious folks Pierce met earlier, led by the Ripper from Last Action Hero, currently are. Wait, so they were behind Pierce and now... I have no idea. Cigarettes make camp with the mercenaries and they have a little chat amongst themselves.
Indians. Them savages.
No, it's worse. Mormons.
Damn it, dude in the suede, you're supposed to be helping people. And yes, I did learn how to say dude in the suede. And what Western wouldn't be without? A completely random and spontaneous dance number. Praise Jeebus. That night, Pierce and Liam both end up having the exact same flashback. Gee, does that mean they're connected by the same traumatic event? I never would have guessed. The following morning, Liam and Cigarettes, who has a hangover as a quickly forgotten detail, discover that the missionaries have robbed them of all their bullets bar one. As you can tell, we're building towards a tense climax. Comparatively, Pierce decides to have a drink out of his rather small-looking flask when suddenly his horse keels over. Why? Because the dumb shit forgot to give it any water, so it ended up dying of heat exhaustion. A mournful Pierce cuts the horse's throat as we see a waterfall of gore shoot out of the throat. How unnecessarily graphic. Liam and Cigarettes find the carcass, and in a nice repugnant moment, find the horse's entrails strewn all over the place. Yeah, the movie's pretty disgusting if I haven't told you that already. But suddenly, Pierce lunges out of the horse and attacks Cigarettes. That's right, folks. A fully grown man can fit inside a fairly small-looking horse with the entrails removed. Aha. Is that honestly what you're trying to sell me, movie? Because that's a load of bullshit! The logistics of that are impossible! Not to mention it's a complete rip-off of that bit out of The Empire Strikes Back! Oh, and continuity fans, check this one out. Before he got in the horse, Pierce's shirt was grey. Now it's beige colours. It's like the filmmakers honestly don't give a shit anymore. But Liam, as we've already seen, doesn't give a damn about his co-stars and shoots Cigarettes dead instead. Wait, isn't this his one bullet used up? Then what the hell is he going to kill Pierce with? Liam, who still seems to have a bullet left in his gun despite this, orders Pierce to his knees. Ooh, does that mean we finally get an explanation? You know, an hour too late for me to care? Yes, we are. It turns out Liam was a loving family man, which we could tell because he doesn't deliver his lines in a monotonous growl like in the rest of the movie.
Get your balance. Put that leg over. Nice and hard now. Now you got it.
But it turns out Pierce's men are coming to destroy this idyllic scene, shown in this very subtle manner. All together now, folks. Symbolism! Pierce is searching for Liam and orders his men to check in the house, which has a newborn baby in it. Okay, let's see here. Loving family man, loving wife, newborn child. What could possibly go wrong? Liam's wife knows the baby is inside and runs into the burning house to get it. Oh, and Liam's son joins her too. How convenient they all run back inside the house at the same time to burn alive right in front of Liam's eyes. Now this would be an effective scene if it wasn't for Pierce Brosnan. Why? Because he has quite clearly got an empathetic and horrified reaction in his eyes. In fact, the film makes a point of the fact they didn't know the house had the baby inside.
You said the house was empty!
They're Rebs. Captain.
Nor did he set the house on fire himself. He gave an order under false information. It's clear the filmmakers wanted both characters to be morally ambiguous, but it completely undermines the entire point of the film. I mean, is this the revelation we've been waiting an hour for? It's not even a shocking twist. Back to the present, and Liam goes to kill Pierce, but they end up engaging in a stiff and not at all natural-looking tussle and fight. Pierce gets the upper hand and warns Liam not to follow him anymore.
You keep coming after me, you ain't gonna find nothing but carnage.
Provided Liam can understand what he just said. Pierce takes Liam's gun, both horses, but throws Liam his flask. But do you think Liam's going to give up and be sensible? Of course not, silly. We have 20 minutes left. Pierce finds a little dirty pond in the desert where he encounters a rather unusual character.
You will pay for that life, or you will pay with yours. That there's life.
Okay. The movie's run out of normal characters, so now we have imaginary ones that talk about spirituality. Deep. In exchange for the water, Pierce leaves one of the horses. The character is quite clearly imaginary, so the reasoning for this is... fuck it. Pierce rides on and sees a long, barren desert.
Blessed be the Lord my strength. He teaches my fingers to fight and my hands to war. Amen.
Or how about you turn around and not die? In fact, how do you think God's going to hear if we can't? Regardless, Pierce rides on and consigns himself to certain death. Right. Oh good, we can have another scene with the imaginary waterman, this time with Liam. It works so well, didn't it? Liam notices his horse has been left behind by Pierce and retrieves it.
And you a horse?
No. It's yours.
Go as you wish. That which is yours will always return to you. That which you take will always be taken from you.
This movie is seen. It cannot be unseen. Fear is how I fall. These wounds, they will not heal. See, I can do it too. Liam also reaches the barren stretch and follows Pierce right into it, determined to get Pierce if it kills him. Pierce is utterly lost in the middle of this heat, but luckily, here comes Angelica Huston in a pointless cameo.
Got no money either way. Oh, hell. I never let that stand in the way of making a deal.
The red-clothed she tempts Pierce with a number of items, including a bullet to kill Liam with, which Pierce takes.
I'll steal the horse.
Red brings you a temptation that never lets money get in the way of a deal. I wonder who this is. Louise C. Fair. Lucifer! That's right, the characters are seeing embodiments of the devil! What the f***? It's like the ending to a completely different movie. That's still shit. Liam also gets to see the devil too, and she looks exactly the same as in Pierce's vision. So they're connected to each other so much they see the same visions? Symbolism? Liam exchanges his flask for another gun, which has one shell. Ooh, we're heading to a climax now. So finally they make their final confrontation. Pierce shoots Liam before taking Liam's gun and pointing it at him, but Pierce can't do it. So he gives Liam the choice of shooting him. Well, of course Liam's gonna shoot him. I mean, he's chased him this far, he's not gonna pussy out now, is he? Oh, come on, you've nearly killed him several times. Just do it already. But no, Liam has a change of heart and doesn't shoot Pierce. What the f***?
Forgive me.
What the f***? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Look, they've forgiven each other and Pierce is giving Liam some of his water. What an absolute crock of shit. So we've paid to see a man chase another man and chase him and chase him and chase him and chase him, but he doesn't actually kill him, making nearly all the film, including the death of several others, pointless? Piss right off. So Liam and Pierce, having found their reconciled place, literally go their separate ways, presumably to die, leaving the gun and knife behind as they do. So far, oh forget it. The characters may have forgiven themselves, but I don't forgive the filmmakers. This is boring, pretentious and utterly pointless twaddle. It has a good message, but it's such a cheat and goes completely against the film that came before it. The only reason I can speculate that Liam Neeson and Pierce signed off was they saw the film as an acting exercise, given its lack of exposition and dialogue. An acting exercise that paid well, of course. What makes the film so disappointing is that it has loads of potential and it's squandered nearly all of it. Besides acting as a cure for insomnia, this ham-fisted western should be left with hundreds of other westerns. Forgotten. I'm Matthew Buck, beating down bad movies everywhere. Whew.